This is the Logitech Crayon. It's the only iPad stylus that uses the same tech as Apple's Pencil, so I just had to check it out. This is an unusual review. Most iPad styluses have these big charts on their website that say everything they can do and compare themselves directly to the Apple Pencil.
I got pressure sensitivity, I got palm rejection, I work on 27 different iPads.
And all of that might be true. Other iPad styluses can do those things, but they can't do any of those things well. The Logitech Crayon is different. It doesn't really claim to do much. It only works with one iPad, the latest 2018 iPad, 6th generation if you will. Not the Pro, just the boring old entry-level iPad.
Weak sauce.
But with the Crayon, Apple is letting Logitech use their proprietary tech, so in many ways the Crayon is just as good as the Apple Pencil. The biggest thing missing here is that it doesn't have pressure sensitivity. It does bring with it some nice tilt control, and the Apple Pencil's superior accuracy.
I'm crazy accurate. That's actually 2 bullet points. There you go. And our legal department wants us to make sure there's an asterisk by the word accurate. Perfect.
So is it a less expensive Apple Pencil replacement? Yes and no. For art and illustration, I would say no. For note-taking, however, I would say yeah, this is a pretty good replacement.
This sounds like something nobody wants. Seriously, no pressure? Only works on the iPad? Why bother?
All right, hypothetical situation here. Say you're in a school, you got a bunch of kids in that school. Maybe they aren't quite as gentle with their tech as, say, your grandmother is.
Who loves my 2 extra buttons?
You give them an Apple Pencil, what's gonna happen? They're gonna fiddle with the cap, they're gonna lose those things. They're probably gonna take the pencil tips off too. And don't get me started on that goofy way the charger works. In a school environment, you are asking for every Apple Pencil and iPad to be destroyed with this charging setup. Not only that, but all day teachers are gonna be hearing the sound of pencils rolling off desks onto the floor.
I can roll off a desk.
The Apple Pencil is weighted not to do that, but kids will find a way to do that. And that's who the Crayon is for. This was designed specifically for the education market, and when we look at it from that point of view, it actually does a really good job. First of all, you can't unscrew the pencil tip. The tip can only be replaced with a special tool that you have to jab into these holes. Now that special tool doesn't come with the Crayon, neither do replacement tips, but you can buy those from Logitech. The tip is a lot like the Apple Pencil tip, which lasts a long time. You should get a lot of wear and tear on this thing before you need to do that. Logitech themselves say that it lasts a mile. It's a really interesting metric for measuring how far something can draw. The back charging port is connected, so it's not as easy to lose as the back of the Apple Pencil. Overall, this product feels really rugged, but that is the one area where it feels like it could break easily. But even if it falls off, it's not going to affect the use of the stylus, and that little end cap thing is replaceable. The Crayon itself is incredibly comfortable to hold. The shape of it isn't just for preventing it from rolling. In fact, I might go out on a limb and say it's more comfortable to hold than the Apple Pencil itself.
If you love the shape so much, why don't you marry it?
The pencil tip looks identical to the Apple Pencil. It also feels identical to draw on the iPad surface with it. You're still dealing with the old plastic on glass feel, so it is kind of slippery. There isn't any texture there to grab the pen tip. You're gonna get a much cleaner controlled line if you use a matte screen protector on your iPad. I don't have one on right now, at least not on this iPad, but if I was gonna use it a lot more, I'd probably apply one.
So how do you sync that thing?
That's the weird part. It just kind of works. It doesn't sync via Bluetooth, so I had to turn off my Apple Pencil before using this, and then I just pressed the button on the Crayon, the green light came on, and I just started sketching. There was no real syncing required. And again, if you're in a school environment, not having to sync up your pencil by plugging it into the actual iPad you're using is a huge benefit. One thing that I'd love to know that I couldn't test because I only had one iPad is that if I put a couple iPads in a row and I turn this thing on, would I be able to draw on any of them, or does it just kind of connect to one of them at a time? If I would be able to draw on any of them, that's one more thing that would be really cool in like a school setting. Anyway, the lack of Bluetooth and the ease of syncing kind of blew my mind.
Blew your mind?
It didn't blow my mind in that, wow, this is amazing sort of way. More in the, how is this working sort of way. What's the battery like on this stylus? It seems pretty good. There's no readout on the iPad to tell you how charged the Crayon is like there is on the Apple Pencil. There is a light on the crayon. If it's green, you're good. If the battery drops below 25%, that light turns red. If it gets below 5%, it blinks red. I never got it down that low. I never saw a red light on it. And I have read that it should give you about 7 to 8 hours of use on one charge. I also like the Apple Pencil. It charges really fast, so if you charge it while you're out on a bathroom break, by the time you get back, you're gonna get a couple more hours of use out of it.
Single file line, kids. Don't block the drinking fountain.
It worked in all of the apps that I tried it in. I even fiddled with a note-taking app. I never do that. The one quirk I found was, in all places, PROCREATE. The line trails the stylus, so I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe. Look at your screen, it's doing that. I don't know why it's doing that. Not all the brushes in PROCREATE do this, but most of them do. It's kind of weird, and probably more than the pressure sensitivity, this makes it less appealing for art. Tried it in a handful of other art programs, didn't have this problem. It's a PROCREATE thing. If you're looking to save a little money and you happen to have the right kind of iPad, this is definitely worth taking a look at. I think the lack of pressure sensitivity is probably going to take it out of the running for most illustrators and artists. However, if you're looking for something that you can take notes with, I would definitely recommend this. It's a fun stylus. It does exactly what it says it's going to do and nothing more and nothing less. I think Logitech did a pretty good job on this one. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Also, if you have any comments or questions, leave those down below. Lastly, I would like to thank my daughter for an inspired reading of my uninspired script. That is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching to the end. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days.